Amen. So, who remembers what was the sermon of last week? It was long ago, isn't it? But there was a stuff that I talked about. Who remembers that? Lahmacun. No, the bread of lahmacun. Thank you. At least we remember lahmacun, isn't it? No, we talked about the bread of life. The bread of life, or bread that was like you can find it in any families. Whole last week I was struggling of the sermon. I was thinking what kind of sermon I'm going to do this week, so it can be kind of a continuation of that term, so we can understand what God wants from us. Just think about and give me the answer. What's going to be the topic of today's sermon?
Bread of life.
We already talked about bread of life last week. So, those who I visited for the home blessing, they remember I talked about three things, isn't it? Three things about bread, water,
salt.
and salt. I'm going to talk about salt today. And I was really struggling because each time I was asking what's the meaning of the salt, I'm getting lots of answers, but today I would like to explain what's the meaning of the salt in the life of Christians. We are called to be a salt of the earth. It's from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 13. It says, "You are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its flavor, how shall it be seasoned? It is then good for nothing but to be thrown out and trampled underfoot by men." Literally, God is calling us as the salt of the earth. What that means? Before we can understand what the meaning of the salt, I'm gonna talk about three things that can be connected to the salt. Three things that gonna bring us to that knowledge why God is calling us, His followers, as the salt of this world. Who likes salt? Just raise your hand. Oh yes, I love the salt too. So there was a time, as King can prove, I was putting salt in everything. Even the food that has salt already during the cooking doesn't matter. I was adding the salt. I was adding the salt even on an apple to eat. Who did that? Just raise your hand. Fantastic, fantastic. I love tomatoes with salt. I love it because it's bringing the nice taste to my tongue, and also my brain starting working very tough. And I would like to talk about, break it down and talk about three things that salt can be for us. Who knows why we are using the salt? Those who've been in my home, if I've been in your houses for home blessings, I talked a lot about salt. I'm going to give you number one, which means that salt is for purification. Purification. So now you're going to ask me, where is the passages from the Bible that's talking about it, isn't it? I was struggling to find them too, but I strongly remember that, but then when I started digging and I found in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 16, verse 1 to 4, when the prophet is talking about one thing, that all the babies, newborn babies, can be covered by salt. They were covering the kids, the newborn, just born babies, by salt. Now we can ask, why? It's for purification. It's for cleaning all the dirt and dust that's happened or being in a child. And also there is another another verse which is in the book of Kings, verse 2:20, when Elijah, to be blessed the well of the water, he asked them to bring a bowl with full of salt. He blessed that and put in that well, and all waters in that well get purified and good to drink. Wow! Can you believe it? So this purification, so where we can find this in our life? Who knows what we are doing with the salt for purification? Who has a pool in your backyard? So what's the main ingredients that you're going to keep that pool? There are two things. Either it's chlorine or salt. Isn't it? Why? The water sits there for years, but it stays fresh. Because we are using the ingredients that have salt in it, and it's purifying this water. We have even the places when water is being purified by salt with a special mechanism that burns like oiling the salt in it. Now the question, why God is calling us as the salt of the world? Literally, He called us to be the purifying agents of God in this world, to purify this world, to clean from sin. So what's the number two? Just well, think about this purification. Number two, the salt is for preservation. Who knows what? Why we are using salt for preservation? Huh?
For refrigeration.
Before the refrigeration should be something that can preserve the food that we are eating, isn't it? The food that we are using, and our like families, they knew that way before we get this refrigeration year or era that we are using to preserve our food. I remember, I talk this many times when I get to the home blessing, and I give my personal story about the salt that was in the basement of my grandparents. I was a kid, and I was always curious why this mountain of salt sitting in the basement, and each time they are sending me to go to the store and buy salt for the house to use. And until one day when my grandma called me to go with her to the basement and help her, and I was surprised when she did that mountain of the salt and took out a big piece of meat, cut a piece that she's going to use for cooking and put the rest back and cover with the salt again. She may put that in the water for a couple hours, then here you are, fresh meat, without slamming any animal. And now we have that meat, and I start thinking, wow, this lady maybe who's been in a school for 3 years in her life just to learn how to write the letters and read the words, she knew how to preserve the meat. Now God is calling us to be the one who is doing that preservation. So when we are talking about this preservation, we have to remember one thing, that God is calling us to be His agent of preservation, so we can preserve this world. So now who we are the agents of purification, agents of preservation. Now there is another third thing, and when I'm asking people what the salt is about, so I'm getting usually number third answer than number 1 or 2. So what's the number third answer? For seasoning. For seasoning. Why? Why we are doing this seasoning of salt? Huh? To taste better, yes, thank you. But we don't have to forget number 1 and 2. For purification, for preservation. Now we can call ourselves like we are the preserver of this world. We are the purificators of this world. And by us, other people can be seasoned by the great seasoning that we are calling faith. The faith that God gave to us. Each time we talk about Christ, that's a seasoning. That's putting something in the life of the person who we are talking about, God. Preservation, purification, and seasoning. When I was thinking about all this, I remember one time when it was a kind of TV show when there are people asking the questions and the people sitting there like they are answering that questions. If not, the point goes to the people who give these questions. And there was a question about why Armenian clergy using salt between the baptism in the baptismal font water. Just think about, in the middle of age, the Armenian clergy using salt to purify the water before baptism. There is no filtration. There is nothing to filter the water, but their clergies, they knew already that they should purify the water before to use it. Because who's going to be baptized in that water? Newborn babies who should be saved. We don't know how the quality of the water that time. That historical part that Armenian clergy were using the salt to purify, to preserve the water of baptism between the baptisms that we are doing. So, what is salt about? When God is calling us as a salt of this world, He says, literally, you are the preserver, you are the purificator, and you are the seasoner of this world. That's it. We have the role to do. And also, when we are bringing the salt for blessing, and priest bless the salt, we are calling that madar, isn't it? Who did madar? Whoever done madar in your life? Do you know what word madar means? Do you know what the madar means? Bring the salt. Bring the salt for praying, for blessing. That's all what it means. And I just translated the prayer, part of the prayer that priest is just saying during the prayer to bless the salt, which he says, you, O Lord, did create the salt to keep the word in firm and keep the waters in one place. Then continuing, so bless and sanctify these salts, so everything that will be mixed by it will be acceptable by you. And clean us, O Lord, by giving the healness to our soul and to our bodies. Wow. How's the soul of the world means for us? It means we are the agents of God who can do this, who should fight for this purification, preservation, and seasoning of the world by the word of Christ. This is the command of God for us. To be the salt of the world.